Welcome back. It's still Business Morning here on Channels Television. Now, the ongoing conversation around a constitution amendment. We see the Nigeria Labour Congress expressing concerns about a reported plan by lawmakers to transfer labor issues from the exclusive to the concurrent list, saying it would undermine the national minimum wage and jeopardize the well-being of average Nigerian workers. Well, these and a whole lot more is what we'll be talking about, of course, not just in the public sector, but also in the private sector. And we have right here in the studio the Managing Director of DeLog Nigeria Limited, Mr. Oludele Ogundimu. Mr. Ogundimu, good morning and welcome to the program.
Happy to have me.
Great. So have you been following this conversation and the concerns of the Labour Congress? What do you think about it?
Apparently, the wisdom of our elders that divide the Constitution into three parts as for the job that's to be done by federal, state, and local governments. The Constitution says the federal government shall legislate on everything that has to do with the exclusive list, while they also have power to legislate both on concurrent list with the state government, while the local government legislate on residual list. So if we are moving issue that has already been on exclusive list, especially issue that has to do with the wage fixing, and moving it from exclusive list to concurrent list, there's going to be a kind of hitch. What I mean by hitch is the fact that we're already used to federal government legislating exclusively for the salary and wages of the workers, which is holistically beneficial to the workers. And every time, the workers always look forward to the time when the new minimum wage will come up. Okay, we started from minimum wage of 18,000, we moved to 30,000. Now, we are now on 70,000. Okay, if you now decide just to move this thing to concurrent list, we have to find out the motive. What is the motive behind such move? We all know the vulnerabilities of some of our states in Nigeria. How many states are really viable to sustain workers? If you look at Nigerian business hubs, the states that are viable in terms of businesses, we could talk of Lagos State, Rivers State, Kano State, maybe Federal Capital, and maybe talk about South-South, Cross River and all that in the area of oil and gas.
But moving it to the concurrent list, wouldn't that make it more realistic? Because even as we speak at 70,000, how many states are really paying it?
Exactly.
But if we move it to concurrent, then states can actually decide what they can afford to pay.
And that is going to be a kind of problem for the workers. Because if the workers' welfare is already disseminated, as in reduced to virtually to nothing. So now, the workers always look to federal government as protecting their interest in the area of wage fixing. So if you now move to this, this issue to concurrent list, which means some states, you know the attitude of government when it has to do with workers, especially welfare. How many states can actually take care of workers?
What about the private sector? Let's come to the private sector.
Good, which DeLog Nigeria belongs to. We have been working for multinationals for the past 30 years. And what I have noticed about these multinationals is that they are statutory compliance. In other words, once there is any new law or any policy that is released by government or Federal Ministry of Labor, they don't want to waste time because they have an interest to protect in the country. So we don't have issue when it comes to private sector. The last minimum wage of 70,000, I think within a space of 3 weeks, all our clients, they comply instantly. And you would never. So that's why.
Is it just the multinationals that comply? Are the Nigerian companies not complying?
And when I mean, we have multinationals. Multinationals in Nigeria today, we have mixed. We have Nigerians, we have foreigners. Okay, so they are still regarded as multinationals or blue chips.
All right.
They comply seriously.
And what about other issues of employers' welfare, health insurance, and all of that?
I think Nigeria has really moved forward. Look at before, we don't have anything that has to do with pension. In 2004, there was a kind of regulation which we have pension reforms, which allows even casuals that we regard as casual, they are tracked under vendors like us, DeLog Nigeria Limited. We are vendors. So they want you to do everything that has to do with pension, health. We now have National Health Insurance Authority, which regulates the health of the workers. At least for every worker must be under a single plan, at least. And some of these companies have been generous to extend it even to their family, that they can insure workers and their family of 4. And this has been going on perfectly. The sector which I belong to, we even go beyond that, because the workers are the main tools of our business. If you don't treat them very well, if you don't create welfare policy or welfare program that's going to sustain them, before you know it, you start having crisis. And you don't want to have crisis. Where we manage workers, you hardly see crisis. As much as we are able to explain to the clients, this is the policy, this is the government rules, and you have to comply. And they have been complying.
And these multinationals are doing well at this time. I think you're more into the consumer goods sector.
Yes, they are doing well, but nevertheless, look at the exchange rate as actually affects their production plan.
But we have a bit of stability, at least.
Yeah, it's fear. But I will tell you that their product going to the market is not easy. Most of the time, it's not every time they make profit. They have to do a lot of turnover before they are able to gain something in return. But nevertheless, it's not like they are complaining, but it is not out of place if government will also focus on people that are helping the economy. To me, I believe these manufacturing companies, they are the largest employers of labor of Nigerian youth. And government should deliberately and intentionally do something and focus on them, give them incentives that will make them...
What kind of incentives are you thinking of?
The kind of incentives I'm thinking of is, look at the time of when Obama took over, when Obama came to power. They have a kind of economic recession. And there was a bailout of $700 billion, which they were able to distribute evenly to some of the good companies. So the government can also, from their, at least they have Ministry of Commerce, they have Ministry of Trade. They can deliberately say, let us give attention to multinationals helping. They have incentives like, look at the bank loans today. We are talking of 37% interest rate. So if you, so the interest element alone is 37 million in a year. And banks in Nigeria are not relaxed. They want the money immediately. They want it in a year. So if you have a compounded interest, that is a compounded problem.
So, but wouldn't it be better? I mean, the government has been preaching the ease of doing business. Don't you think it would be better for a general, for instance, we have a new tax regime that's supposed to also clear and reduce some of the burden, and, you know, things like that perhaps could be a more sustainable plan and policy to help.
Okay, we really want to thank the current president, because our president is economically sound in terms of knowledge. So for all these new releases they are giving now, I think when it starts breaking out, we will see the impact on the people and on the companies. That is good, but that should not, they can still go ahead and do more, especially in the area of interest elements. Okay. That is serious.
Because we just had the MPC meeting yesterday, and we saw, you know, the West officially still 27.5, but I mean, as you have said.
No, it's 37. Before it used to be 2018, but jumped to, immediately we have a kind of reversal in the exchange rate. Everything jumps to ×3.
Okay, but at least we have a stable naira now. Hopefully the value will be better in the coming days.
If we reduce our consumption for dollars.
People like you will reduce your consumption and reduce your demand for raw materials.
Most of the companies are already improvising some of the things they need to source
with domestic raw materials.
Exactly, and it's getting better small.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Oludele Ogundimu, Managing Director of DLog Nigeria Limited, for your time.
Thank you so much. And thank
all
you
right,
for having me.